Hey, Dad.
Hey, Kat.
In our last video, we talked about some of the characters that you've had over the years in and out of the shop. And I know that you're quite proud of the relationships that we've built in the business. I was just wondering, if you had to pick something or a few things that you're most proud of that you've accomplished in this business, what would they be? Other than the bursaries. We did a whole video on the bursaries last month, so not you're most proud of the bursaries, but second is
Other things to be proud of, right?
other things to be proud of.
Of course, right, there's all the students that have come through and the people that have taken and enjoyed music itself. Right? So that's something to be proud of.
That's very
I've also was able, because of the nature of the retail, plus we had a distribution part to the company.
back in the day,
one-
like in the 70s and 80s.
Exactly, right. So back in those early days, I was able to travel, right, and be in other parts of the world and see manufacturing facilities, how things worked, right. And from that, it gave me a huge education and understanding that just because somebody says it's so, doesn't make it so. And I'll give you an example. of that,
Okay.
Right. In 1970, I was in Japan and the Orient for 50 odd days, 60 days, somewhere in that area, 50 to 60 days. And then one of those times, right, I was in Japan, right, and I got a telex, right, from my mother.
A telex, for the young people watching this video, is a precursor to what we would think of today as sending a text message. It was something that like Western Union had to send, and it was not a cheap thing to send. You can continue now that I've translated for you.
Okay, so anyway, telex, right, basically it's just a type note, you know.
Yeah, like a
just
telegram.
like a telegram,
But-
or even like it's was the step next after shortwave, right, or after Morse code, right? It was
Yes.
the next step, right?
So old-fashioned text message.
Old, well, yeah, really old-fashioned, but it came out as text, yeah. Right. Anyway, right, so the text message was to make sure that I was okay because of a typhoon,
Oh.
which was like a hurricane, right, that had gone through Osaka at the time. It's Typhoon Oga was the name of it, right? Anyway, it hit Osaka, and because there was a World's Fair happening in Osaka at the time, they made a big deal out of it, and that it had done all this damage. Well, if you stop and think about it, all the trees that it would have blown over would have just been planted. For the
Yes,
World's Fair,
they would have.
So they wouldn't have been rooted anyway.
So it would have been brand new
Right,
landscaping.
exactly. And then any of the pavilions that would have been built, right, were generally temporary pavilions, right? So if you lost a little bit of a building or something like that being blown off.
And this was before we had like ATCO structures or anything like that.
Yeah, oh, no, they were at cold, right? Actually, there was the Australian pavilion was a suspended pavilion, right, on cables for earthquake. This man in his world is what they, no, it wasn't man in his world. Anyway, I can't remember
We can
what the
look it
theme was, right? Anyway, it swayed. And because
Oh.
it actually swayed, right, which
Like
is
that
what it was
building in
supposed to
Seattle.
do. Did exactly what it was supposed to do, right? But a couple of the displays inside got toppled over.
Of course they would. It was
Because-
moving.
Because it moved, right, kind of situation. So that's one part of it. And then when I was in Hong Kong, right, we're down along the tracks here in Abbotsford, so you get to hear the odd train go by. When I was in Hong Kong, first time I actually was able to really get an English newspaper, right, picked up the newspaper, I was reading it, and bicycles were taking over the streets of Vancouver. Right? This was Vancouver, British Columbia, bicycles were taking over the streets. Well, that's when they created the bike lane around the seawall.
Oh,
in
good.
Stanley Park, right? And bicycles were also outselling automobiles too at that time, 4-1. Wow.
Well, that's because no one had a bike.
No, people had bicycles, but it was in the summertime. So if you're going to buy a bicycle, when you're going to buy your bicycle? In the summertime.
Exactly.
So that kind of thing taught me, right, to be, just because a person says it so, and particularly with our web and stuff, I read so many things that just make me think, wow.
And not even
Okay.
only on April Fool's Day.
There you go. Anyhow, right, that gives you some sort of idea as to why I've got the knowledge I do. Right?
Very good. Well, I think next month
Very
maybe we'll
education.
do a whole series on your travels, because I think that'd be cool.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.